Okay, so now we've established kind of the game plan. The next step is the actual song. So I don't really know the song yet. So when you hear this, so we have a little catchy thing, and so we have to write, and I like that. I mean, it's very musical, it's simple. I envision the band, an upright bass player, maybe some drums. Again, you don't have to do all of that, but you have to figure out a pocket and a groove and a rhyme scheme. So she had the line, "What would angels do? What would angels say if I could hear their conversation?" Well, that tweaked my ear because it's not a normal kind of an idea. And so immediately I went back to my history of songs. And what did that remind me of? Well, If God Was One of Us by Joan Osborne. I'm an encyclopedia because music moves me. And I remember when I first heard that song, and if you haven't heard it, go get it because it's a great example of a mainstream song drawing from unique lyrics that are great. So I said to her, I said, we need to really make sure if we do What Would Angels Do, what would angels say if I could hear their conversation? I had to develop a rhyme scheme that works with all of that. Because also, she wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to do an A-B or A-A-B-B rhyme scheme. She's just singing something that feels comfortable. The important thing is to do something that feels natural to the writer, the songwriter, or the artist. And sometimes that does mean a rhyme scheme. Other times it doesn't. If you look at Dylan, believe it or not, he's very rhyme-oriented. But he's very across the board. I mean, Gotta Serve Somebody has 9 verses or something, and there's no chorus, But it's an incredible song. So again, you got to do what the song tells you. You don't tell the song what to do. So that's one verse right there. What would angels do? What would angels say if I could hear their conversation? So we wanted to take that again. So I said, why don't we write, what do angels think? How do they really help? Do you think they have an imagination? Now that's interesting because it develops the idea of what are angels? What do they do out there? She loved it because it helped develop the concept. And then we had to get to a section, so that's the, what would angels think? Da, 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 da. Do they really have an imagination? Now, instead of doing the same chords on the second verse, I wanted a money chord that would change it to set up the pre-chorus. So instead of doing C to G to A minor to F, I went, what would angels think? How da 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 da? Do you think they have imagination? So that's a D over F sharp. And it's kind of, I'm pulling or drawing from the Beatles. It's a Beatles kind of chord. Not that they pulled it from other people as well. But it's a different game changer because I'm going to the F again. And if I'd have stayed on the F, it would have been the same. So I went to D over F sharp and then beg the help of someone to take me through the world that's come. Now that's a pre-chorus, but it's interesting. Instead of keeping F, G, the bass line, I wanted to move it ascending so it creates anticipation for the chorus. So I went F, G, F over A to G over B. You're using the same foundational chords. And then, instead of going to C, we went to F. So it sets up the chorus. And the chorus is everything. If you don't have a hooky chorus, you're done for. So we did not have a chorus. So I just used instincts. And we worked on just the chorus, and this is what I came up with.
So here's our pre-chorus.
chorus and new chorus.
All right.
I need the help of someone. Here, you sing it with me. One. See, I want her to sing it to make sure. I need the help of someone to take me through the world that's come. And the melody, we went up high. Like the stars in the sky, there's so many things that feels like an endless sea. If I could fly in the arms of the angel wings and know that your love has found me, what do angels see? So, a chorus really establishes the foundation of the whole song. And so we had to write a melody first. We wrote the melody first, not lyrics at all. So I just did something that, whether it was Weezer or Jessica Simpson or, Taylor Swift, whoever would sing it would put their personality into it, but the structure of the song, now those are similar chords to the verses. They're not difficult. I didn't go, I'm going to write whole new things. Again, you do what the song tells you to do. And then the lyrics, so we wanted to do, I need the help of someone to take me through a world that's come undone. A lot of pre-choruses, you want to kind of set it up by using the same words. And then when we hit the chorus, we want it to be a big idea. Like the stars in the sky, there's so many things that it feels like an endless sea. That's meaning we want it to connect to everybody sitting in the audience. They're thinking about their problems, how many they've got, how to pay the bills, how to do this, how to do that, who can help me, someone help me. Is it an angel, is it not? And then if I could fly in the arms under angel wings, we wanted to get the angel back into the chorus, but in a creative way. And know that your love, and then here's kind of an interesting thing. We needed to rhyme. So we all originally had that I can't wrap my mind around it, but it was hard to find a rhyme that works with around it. So then we switched that to that it feels like an endless sea, because sea could rhyme better with, we came up with the line, and know that your love surrounds me. And it's a more engaging idea anyways. And so that's the essence of kind of creating the different sections, and then remembering, have your tools. I like to write and scribble. It's a mess. It doesn't look really proper, but that's how my mind kind of thinks. So you can pull and draw. So be very good with the tools that you have always in place so that you can create, because something with music usually comes, we wrote this whole song beginning to end with just one line in about 2.5 hours. So I might come back to this song, because I was pretty enthused. I got to tell you before I do that, the second verse is the one that you've got to take it up a notch. And so it's pleasant. The song is nice. It sets a nice idea. But when I remembered of Joan Osborne's song, it was a line in there that said, the Pope, go call the Pope in Rome or something. It was classic. It's beautiful. And it made me listen to the whole song. It had nothing to do with the chorus or whatever. So I told her, I said, let's just do one verse that really makes a difference. So it's, what do angels feel? Tell me where they go. Do they stop for coffee while they're saving souls? Do they walk alone? Do they run and hide when the demons come and play outside? Well, that's really interesting to me as a listener, because I go, again, if Bono were to sing this versus an unknown artist, it would be a game changer. So now I've got to think, how do I get this to Bono? Of course. But again, you want to write great music and lyrics that bring the listener in. So after I finish this and I'm all high on the lyrics and the music, you have to do kind of what's called a check on your system. Get away from it for a day or two. You've got it on your phone. I like to go take the phone, drive in a car, and listen to it and process it while I'm driving. And I don't know why I do that. Maybe instinctively I always did that when I listen to final mixes. I'll take the song or the album and I'll go drive, crank it up super loud, and I'll crank it up super soft. I mean, crank it down super soft and hear it so you can have a conversation and see if there's any weak links. Well, when writing a song, you want to do the same thing. You want to say, well, that's what I felt then. Now let's see in 2 days, does it add up? Does it check? Or do I need to tweak a line, or I go, that doesn't really make sense. Does it make sense if, like the stars in the sky, there's so many things that I can't wrap my mind around it, but if I didn't get a rhyme, can you improve a rhyme scheme? Just look very hard at what you're doing, because what you're trying to do is put the final product out that people will go, I love this song. This line spoke to my heart. It changed my life. With Old Whiteheart songs, we continually get people that respond to a song, and I'm the same way. I remember a song that I was at a certain place in my life, and that song came and it helped me through a tough time, or it made me feel great, or we did a song called God Made Convertibles, which wasn't a very spiritual song, but we get probably as many or more comments on that song because it was different for the culture at the time to go, I love that song, I'm out in the countryside, the convertible, the top's pulled down, and I just rock to that song. Well, that's what you want your songs to do, and so it's good to take a safety check and make sure that you develop and you're hard on yourself and your song, and that it stands the test, both musically. You might change something musically or say, I think that needs a bridge. This doesn't have a bridge, but we did a little bridge just with the hook. What do angels see? So again, that's kind of a very, very short process of creating the song to the end result.